Jimmy Carter, was tossed around as a potential ticket rival to Ford the next year. The Watergate scandal remained front and center news, the cast of characters involved falling like dominoes throughout the year. But the men were much more interested in discussing Bobby Fischer's refusal to play Anatoly Karpov for the World Chess Championship. The little ones were constantly shushed by adults as they ran around the house, but any ability they had to remain calm all but expired during the 45-minute Christmas Eve church service. The top of the tree, a Douglas fir, was bent over at the ceiling and caused the entire tree to lean slightly to the left. Clara had told Hank it was too tall. Hank hadn't listened. The multicolored Christmas lights had been a challenge that year, the hunt for the single burned-out bulb eliciting a few curse words from Hank and tears from the children, all of which were quickly extinguished when the culprit was found, and the living room was once again filled with green, red, blue, and white lights that danced among the shadows on the walls. The turkey was a little dry, but it wasn't anything that gravy couldn't solve, and Clara and Annie indulged in a few glasses of white wine as they warned the children that Santa was still being sent behavior reports en route to houses that evening. Bored with talk of chess and politics, the women talked in hushed tones about a new show, Saturday Night Live, that was said to be pushing boundaries, and a movie about a killer shark that gave them nightmares based on the description alone. There was laughter and flushed cheeks from the wine, anxious children, and after-dinner coffee that paired perfectly with the cherries' jubilee. There was much unsettled in the world at that time, but one thing was certain. In that sweet old house just outside Friendly, Georgia, with an inviting front porch and a tire swing, there was love. That Christmas in 1975 was magical. Two families gathered together in tradition, embracing all that life had to offer and blissfully unaware of any challenges, heartbreak, or pain that life inevitably had in store. Back in the day, good neighbors were treated like family. Moments of silence were embraced as opportunities to pray and reflect, not something to run from or avoid. There was a time that bikes were ridden on gravel roads without care or worry of the resulting dust on clothes or the time it took to reach your destination. Back in the day, if an orange fell from your grasp, you simply let it roll. Chapter 2. When Life Gives You Oranges. Lemons. They say when handed them in life, you should make lemonade. They don't say that about oranges. The stupid thing rolled faster than she could walk in her heels, disappearing beneath a car that had just pulled into a parking space. Trying to cover the hole in the bag with her left hand, Julia bent over to see where the orange had landed, tilting the bag just enough for 6 more oranges to escape from the hole in the bottom and rush to join their friend, who had a head start rolling back toward the entrance of the shop and save. "Shit," Julia said, readjusting the useless paper shopping bag in her left arm, trying to save the rest of the groceries from falling into the puddles. A gray-haired man exiting a car shot her a look of disapproval, his billowy eyebrows creating a giant gray caterpillar across his eyes. He didn't bother to lean over and catch the few remaining oranges before they disappeared beneath his car. Slamming the door, he opened his umbrella and shook his head. "Oh, for the love of Pete," Julia said a little more loudly, the bag now tearing along its seam, sending a container of sour cream to the ground where it crashed dramatically and sprayed creamy whiteness across the man's car hood and onto a black cashmere sweater coat and bag of a woman too busy pushing a full cart and trying to get her car to automatically unlock to notice. A half-gallon of orange juice broke free next, its paper carton not strong enough to sustain the blow as it joined the sour cream, molding itself into a gooey film as it mixed with rainwater. Julia dropped the bag completely. Staring up at the sky, she let the misty air cover her face and took in a deep breath. Her latest self-help book purchase, Discovering the Better You, claimed that a cleansing breath was key to lowering her heart rate.